Hello and welcome to another topic analysis. In this video, we're going to talk about the January PF topic, which is resolved: the African Union should grant diplomatic recognition to the Republic of Somaliland as an independent state. So starting off with some definitions. The first term of art in the resolution is the African Union, and it's a continental body made up of 55 member states inside of Africa that make their own diplomatic and autonomous decisions. The second definition is diplomatic recognition, and this occurs when a group of people or a created government try to get accepted as a nation by the international community. And if your territory gets accepted as a country and recognized by other countries, that means that you're officially a part of their own diplomatic relationships, possibly even economic partnerships or even military ones, because now you're able to make those decisions as an independent governing body. The third definition is the Republic of Somaliland, and currently they are a small self-declared region in the Horn of Africa that broke away from the bigger country of Somalia. And Somaliland is trying to become a democracy after realizing that Somalia wasn't necessarily the best place for them to stay. And so that's why they broke away from the country, and that's why they're trying to get recognition on the international stage. So now let's talk about some affirmative ground. The first contention idea is that of aid, specifically in terms of economic aid. Essentially what this argument is saying is that Somaliland requires statehood to be given aid from other international governing bodies like the International Monetary Fund or the IMF and address their extremely low per capita GDP. Essentially what that is that the amount of money that each individual worker has is very low compared to other more developed countries like the United States or other countries inside of the European Union. And the reason for that is because Somaliland's economy isn't that well developed. But in order for Somaliland to get the economic aid that they need to be recognized by the international community. And if the African Union, which is a group of a lot of African countries, give Somaliland that diplomatic recognition, they are going to be able to make those trade agreements with other countries. The second affirmative contention idea is that of security commitments. Essentially, if Somaliland is recognized by an independent governing body like the African Union, they're going to be able to sign on to international security commitments as well, specifically with other countries like the United States. And so by the African Union granting Somaliland this diplomatic recognition, Somaliland is also going to be similarly recognized by other countries outside of the African Union like the US, because they're able to use it as legal precedents. And so due to this, it would enable the US to counter China in the Horn of Africa region. China is increasing their military presence in the Horn of Africa region, specifically around the Djibouti base. And because of this, the US sees China as a threat. The US sees it as favorable for them to utilize Somaliland as an independent state. But the only way that they're able to benefit off of that is by making Somaliland sign onto security partnerships and commitments, so that the US can support Somaliland, but at the same time make their own strategic advancements in the region. So now let's talk about negative ground. The first negative contention idea is that of tensions. The issue with recognizing Somaliland as an independent state is that there are opponents of this recognition, countries like Egypt and Somalia. And Somalia is the main country that Somaliland is breaking away from. And so due to Egypt sending military aid to Somalia and creating their escalatory spiral in the region, the worry is that recognizing Somaliland will increase escalation and tensions against Somaliland and Ethiopia. And Somaliland and Ethiopia also have their own alliance. And so due to this, if Somaliland truly does get recognized, other countries might increase backlash, or even worse, possibly increase military tensions. The second negative contention idea is that of African instability. And so recognizing Somaliland will cause other secessionist movements and other breakaway states from a larger country, and that would also raise the risk of war in the African continent.